Hello again, everybody. So today I wanted to talk about my camp lamp stand. I briefly mentioned it in my last video when I was talking about the different modifications that I made on the camper, on the Cricket, over the past month or two. But I kind of wanted to have a separate video that talked specifically about the camp lamp stand. That's what I'm calling it anyway. So I wanted to give you guys a scenario, a reason why I think the camp lamp stand is necessary. Last summer we were down in Table Rock Lake, Missouri, and camping with my extended family, and so there's not a whole lot of room inside the campers to play games and whatever for 6-7 people. And so the kids were outside playing cards on the picnic table, and of course it got dark. And when it got dark, I thought, well, I'm going to grab my handy dandy lantern, and I'll throw this thing on the table. So I put this on the table for them. I actually have a couple of these. But when you sit something on a table like this and it's in front of you and people are around trying to play cards, obviously you can't see what your card is because you got this light behind you blinding you. And so the optimal solution is to hang it, right? And oftentimes on the picnic table in a state campground or state park campground, you can't move the picnic table, so you can't put the picnic table in a strategic spot so that you can hang something. So then you're looking around for a tree to put a string on, a rope between your tree and your camper or whatever, so you can hang this thing, and it gets kind of annoying. So when I came home from that trip, I started looking for something that would sit on my table and hang my lantern. I started looking on Amazon. I looked on REI. I basically did a Google search for anything that resembled that, and there is absolutely nothing. I found not one thing online that would hold a little lantern like this, or something slightly bigger, over a picnic table, maybe 2-3 feet in the air. There's nothing that does that. And so I started thinking, well, what could I do? I have some old tent poles that are leftovers from tents that I've had over the past 20 years. The body of the tent was basically disintegrated. So I got these tent poles. I could make a tripod to hold this over a picnic table, maybe up 2 feet in the air. So I started getting the material together for that, and I'm going to go ahead and show you my original attempt. So my original prototype was, if you can see this, it's basically just a tube. It's actually a leftover piece of that tube that I bought to make the table, so I could, I'm not the table, but the bed, so I could have it at a higher position. Anyway, I cut it in a short piece, drilled 6 holes in it, and basically drilled the holes in such a way so that when you put the tent poles in here, it makes a tripod. And we actually used this a couple of times. We used it in Wyoming, and it puts on the table. But as you can see, it's kind of gangly. It's kind of unwieldy to put together, to hold it as long. In the end, I just really wasn't satisfied with it too much. And so I thought, I want to come up with something better. And that's where I came up with CampLampStand, and like I said, I keep it here on the outside. So the CampLampStand, you can see I have a number of these. The CampLampStand is basically, I'll take this and open it up for you. It's basically a oak, 1 1/8 inch oak dowel that's cut 8 inches long, and it's got 2 holes drilled in it, slightly offset, maybe an inch to 3/4 of an inch between the holes. One goes through this way, one goes through this way, and they're not quite at 90 degrees. So when you put it on your table, the one post kind of hangs over. So I'll show you that here. Basically, this is one tent pole that I cut in half so that I could have shorter posts, and then I put the shock cord back in it. Also, besides the tent pole, I have a whole bunch of these aluminum tent stakes from lots of different tents that I've had over the years, and I just cut one in half, bent it enough so that when it's in the tent pole, it'll hold the lantern. In order to hold this in place, I bought some heat shrink material, cut it and put it on here, and then used my heat gun to shrink it on there. So essentially what you do is you put this in one of the holes, and then take the third one. Oops, I got it backwards, but that's fine. Let's turn it around here. Put the third one right in here, and it basically holds your lantern like that. So real easy to set up, real easy to tear down. It tears down into a space this big. I have some Velcro strips on here so it holds it all in one little neat package. What this third pole is for is if you wanted it higher, which typically I think that this is a good height when you're sitting at a table and you're playing games or whatever. You can have a couple of these sitting and holding a lantern. But if you're cooking, you might want your lantern just a little bit higher over the top of your stove so that you can see the food in there better. So I basically I put the Velcro strips mounted to this so that they're out of the way normally, but if you need to use this bar, you basically take the lantern off, pull that out of there, slip this in here, and add height to the lantern. Now you probably can't see that, it's probably too low. So that adds height to the lantern. If I open my stove up, I can actually have this hanging right over the lantern, over the stove, and it works pretty good for that. So that's my camp lamp stand. Now you can see I have a number of these. Actually, I had a jig set up. Fix the thing. I had a jig set up so that once I started drilling these holes in the proper orientation and on my drill press, I bought a 4-foot piece of this dowel and cut it into 8-inch sections, and so I made a bunch of these. I actually have, I think, 9 of them left. I gave away 4 or 5 for Christmas presents to family members. But I do have, like I said, I think I have 9 of these left over. And I am willing to sell them if you would like one. I mean, it's fairly easy to build, but if you don't have access to a tent pole or heat gun, or maybe I stained and varnished these. These are oak dowels, but I stained and varnished them. These got like 3 or 4 coats of varnish on them, or polyurethane. But if you don't have access to that, or you just don't want to make it, if you want to just shoot me an email or just put it on a comment, your email, go ahead and do that, and I'll get in touch with you. I'd sell these for $20. I think I got like, probably $5 worth of material in each one. Maybe not quite, but these little rubber feet are kind of expensive. They're like $2.50 for 4 of them or something. Anyway, So if you would want one, actually one of these 3, I have 9 of them made up right now in my house. If you would want one, you can go ahead and comment that you would like one. I'll contact you, and we can figure out somehow to ship it to you, and somehow that you can pay me for it. But $20. I actually thought about taking one of these to REI and somehow slipping it in to the store and putting it next to all these lanterns that they have, and seeing if anybody thought that it was something that they would like to have, but I didn't do that. Anyway, yeah, so give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and if you want one of these camp lamp stands, go ahead and comment that you would like one, and we'll somehow touch base with you and figure out how to make that exchange. So anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye. So I thought I'd add just a little bit of something here. Just so you know, that Black Diamond one, I have a couple of those, but at REI I found this one. It was on clearance for $10. It uses AAA batteries instead of, or I mean AA batteries instead of AAA, so it lasts a lot longer. It's a little bit bigger, but the camp lamp stand is obviously very capable of holding this. The thing I like about it is it does pop up like that and creates a real nice lantern. So when you're sitting around the table, picnic table at night, or cooking after it gets dark, you can use that. So again, camp lamp stand. If you want one of these, go ahead and contact me. If you just want to make one, feel free. And yeah, so that's all I want to say. Thanks for watching.